Okay, hi guys. Sorry I'm late. Now see, am I really live or am I not live? It has this weird countdown thing on it and I never know. Well, really quick, while I am waiting on anybody to come in and let me know if I'm actually live, I'm going to get on comments here on YouTube, and I am going to make myself some hot chocolate. Because, well, myself some hot chocolate. Okay. And obviously I forgot to turn the volume down. And yes, I am aware I shouldn't be doing this in a quart jar, but unlike some of those people that have endless supplies of coffee cups, I can't find any. And you know what I forgot? I forgot the marshmallows. You can't have hot chocolate without marshmallows. Oh, sorry, Miss Pinga. Okay. I don't know if you can tell. It's like Trix marshmallows. I buy them in bulk at the local Amish store. Oh, but it has been one hell of a day so far, and I didn't think it was going to be. But things have been interesting here lately, I guess. Not like any of you don't know that, because, you know, well, that whole virus thing. And I am not back to... And I've got weird things going on with my hair. But yeah, so over the weekend I got news from work that if I'm not back by the 1st, then I'm laid off. So I actually went in and turned in my uniforms to get them out of my closet and pick up some stuff that was in my locker. I haven't been there in 6 months, y'all. So it was a little blah. And I was hoping some people would be able to be on today. Because so I went to work, right? And I haven't been to work in over 6 months now. And I knew it would be a little bit different. I was surprised at how not different it was. Of course, my badge doesn't work because I've been on furlough. And I think they shut badges down after like 30 days or something. But if you're inactive for any reason, it's automatically doesn't let you in the door. So I stopped at security, and like on the phone, HR had been like, well, there probably will be somebody that stops you in the parking lot and asks you questions and tells you where to go to get your temperature taken and stuff. They never took my temperature. I walked up to the security guard window in the little employee entrance. Foyer, I guess. I don't know. It's like that little 6-foot space between the outside door and the inside. And like you can get into the... Sorry, I am just going to turn this on Do Not Disturb. So I'm not... Hey, do not bite that. There we go. So anyway, I walked in there. I walked up to the security guard window and said hi, and it took him a minute to figure out who was supposed to take me down to my locker. Hi, Kim in Ohio. I'm doing pretty well. It's been an interesting day. I went and cleaned my locker out at work and dropped off my uniforms. Because if I'm not called back in the next week and a half or whatever it is, if I'm not back to work by the 1st, I'm laid off. So I asked if I had to wait until after the 1st to go pick my stuff up, and they said, no, you can go ahead and come on in. So, but I didn't react quite as well as I was thinking I would. So then after I got done with that, and it probably wouldn't have been so bad, but I kept running into people I know, and they're like, oh, how are you? And then I'm going, well, it doesn't look like I'm coming back anytime soon. And then I sat in my car and cried for 15 or 20 minutes, and I was better. I'm not great, but and then I was going to say, one thing I was really kind of interested in hearing from people on was, what do you guys do to like process changes? Because I went and drove around Michigan for a couple of hours. And now I am drinking hot chocolate because it sounded good. So whereabouts in Ohio are you, Kim? And I guess I shouldn't assume your name is Kim, but it says Kim in Ohio, so I figured it was a good bet. I did find some really, so for whatever Charlie, it's a cord. You chew on it all the time. That doesn't mean you need to play with it. Steubenville, 3 hours away from big cities like Cleveland. You know, I'm not even really sure where Cleveland is. I have a vague clue where Columbus is. No, you don't need to chew on the computer cord either. But yeah, so I went and I drove around in Michigan. And for whatever reason, I've been wanting to draw gingerbread houses lately. Okay, Charlie, it is a cord. If you don't like it, you can get down. So I found some interesting, I don't know if you can see that. I've been getting drawn to this one lake, but it feels more like tree energy. And there are a lot of trees in that area. That was on a dirt road, a bad dirt road, like one of those really, really bumpy ones. It was crazy. But anyway, then I was finding interesting I can't see interesting house features to put. And it's like I can't even make the gingerbread houses because I would wind up with all sorts of issues. Oh, and then this is like the house that I was like, oh, that would be an awesome gingerbread house. I don't know if you can see that. Hey, Roy. And hi, Tumbleweed. I kind of picked today's topic because I've been having a bad day. I went and cleaned up my locker and dropped off uniforms at work. And I was expecting it to be just fine because I've been off for 6 months, but that only semi-worked. Does anybody know why hot chocolate and chocolate milk do not taste the same? Because, I mean, I'm thinking it's kind of hot in here. It would be nice if this was cold. Tumbleweed, I have, and I probably have it written down, but what is your name? That is because of how I have to finagle this system to actually have a camera. So I have my laptop on StreamYard, which is what is actually on the volume. And then I have my YouTube phone sitting about 6 inches above it on a microwave, which you've got for the camera. And then I also have my normal phone for comment backup if StreamYard decides to be wonky. But the camera on my laptop doesn't seem to work, and I always have issues if I try and do anything with lives on the phone. So I figured that was kind of my best bet. Christian and Tracy. Okay. So are you both there, or is it just one of you right now? Hi, Bash and Mac. I know it looks wonky because I look like I shouldn't be able to speak, but it works so far. Till I get to the point that I'm rolling in dough and can just go buy equipment and such. And quite frankly, I don't even know what equipment I would need to get this to work, unless I just bought a new laptop that had a working camera now. So the question of the day is, how do you guys deal with changing things in your life? Because me changing to not working in the last 6 months has been kind of hit or miss. And this whole thing with like cleaning my locker out at work just kind of threw me for a loop today. At the beach with the grandkids. Well, hopefully they are staying safe. I know we've got crazy weather going on out west, and seems like beaches down south have lots of virus issues. I say that, but I'm pretty sure the beaches up here in Michigan and around Lake Michigan have them as well. Although most of our beaches are shut down right now. So, Roy, what do you guys actually stream from? So, Bash and Mac, what is your name? I just met you yesterday. I figured out many years ago, probably 2nd or 3rd grade, that Common Core is for the birds. And Christian, I know, and it's one of those situations where financially I will be okay for a while without going back to work, and I'm high risk, so the idea of going back to jobs that would generally be frontline jobs is somewhat scary. But I'm also not used to having no structure or things to do here at home. I mean, not that I don't have things to do here at home. I've got tons to do here at home, but okay, Jim, I will try and remember that, but I literally got home at about 20 till, didn't even have a thumbnail done, and it didn't offer me an option to add a thumbnail today, which I thought was a little weird. So, oh, Jim, yeah, so the Common Core math thing, and so, okay, you guys, I'm still fairly new at this, so I forget that I haven't told you guys, and you don't know history. So I was sort of forced into college right out of high school, and I didn't want to be there, so that didn't go well. And then I dropped out for a couple of years when I had my kids, and then I went back. Well, when I went back, I was in Fort Wayne, and then I moved up to IUSB. And one of my friends there was going for teaching. She actually got into it was a math class, but it wasn't like college math. It was a teacher's class on how to teach math. And they were trying to explain something with subtraction. I want to say it was subtracting negatives. She raised her hand and said, okay, so you're saying that if I subtract if I'm balancing my checkbook and I have it and I wind up overdrafting and I subtract a negative, it's going to go positive. And the teacher looked at her and said, you know, I wouldn't really expect you to understand it because you didn't learn this way. And she laughed at him and said, I don't think my bank agrees with this math. So, Roy, I gathered that you did Prism this morning or yesterday. My days are kind of running together, too. But then, like, are you on a laptop when you're streaming, or do you have a phone that you stream from? And who on earth are the Comets? So this is interesting. This does not... I've got the phone over here for backup on comments, and I'm actually getting them on StreamYard before I get them in the live. Yes. So my kids are 14 and 16, and my 14-year-old automatically goes into a third shift schedule anytime she's off school. That's always been her natural body clock, even when she was itty bitty. I had to. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, Fort Wayne Comets kind of sounds right, but then I was like going, but no, they're the potheads now. It's not potheads, it's tin caps, but I'm still kind of salty over that. It should still be Fort Wayne Wizards. But I go down there and it still looks weird because it's just Purdue. They don't even have IU at that campus anymore. Okay, so I get the whole it reduces your bandwidth thing. Do I have lag? Like, other than with this, because this has been happening on my phone sometimes even. Hold that thought. Okay, now you don't get to chew on that cord either. He has obviously figured out where the treats are stashed. Okay. I know you can get StreamYard for your phone, but I haven't figured out how I would have it far enough away to use the camera and also be able to see comments. And I was going to say, I really don't have any clue how this is going to go next week when the kids are home, because they go back and forth to their dads. I've told them that I get the 4 to 5 o'clock hour on Thursdays. They have to be off the internet. Because when they walk in the door, it's automatically like 2 or 3 more laptops and phones, and I do have lag issues when they're home. So I can try that. I'll play with it. I still need to get my Good, Bad, and Ugly for the garden filmed today or tomorrow to post on Sunday. And then sometime in here I will play with Prism to see what it's like. That's one thing I liked about StreamYard. It was fairly straightforward and easy to... I was going to say, but it's like I don't even have a routine anymore. I struggle to get out of bed and like get anything done during the day. Like I don't have trouble getting out of bed like I'm depressed. I kind of meander around and do a whole lot of nothing. I avoid decluttering. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I was going to say, and the niche I wound up with was sort of like a homesteading with chronic illness, histamine intolerance, sort of a niche, because histamine, and it's so, the last year I've been dealing with histamine intolerance. I was broken out in hives for like 3 months last summer. And I was trying to find things like gardening with this and food storage with histamine intolerance, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing out there. So it was like, there's the low histamine chef who hasn't put out a video in like 4 years. She still gets good views because that's... and then there's a couple of people that talk about the carnivore diet, but I don't think that's really a good option for me. I need vegetables and things. Especially, I don't like touching raw meat, so. I don't know. I think I just need to put myself on some sort of a schedule now that they're back in school, and like clean half the day and do YouTube half the day, and then in the evenings when they're off school, I'm just free to do whatever. I really would like to know why hot chocolate doesn't taste like chocolate milk if it's cold. Because I like hot chocolate and I'm only on chocolate milk. Yeah, it was really interesting. Hi, Chris. My wife found an abandoned kitten. Aw. I like kittens, but hopefully she's okay and makes it. Yeah, I got really lucky on that as far as the histamine intolerance thing, because it seems like a lot of people have trouble getting pushed by YouTube, but as long as I'm consistently putting something up, like last week I wound up with some food poisoning for a day or two, 3, I don't know. I say food poisoning, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was chemicals on the peaches I ate because I forgot to wash them. And I'm super sensitive to chemicals. But yeah, so it's one of those, I wind up on suggested videos for other people, but I don't understand how I'm doing that. I understand SEO a little bit. Like I used to do keyword searching and stuff like that back probably before YouTube. Probably before YouTube. Yeah, they do have sharp little claws at that age. I haven't dealt with a kitten in quite a while. The one that you saw me take off the counter was, I want to say he's 7 or 8 next month. So it's been a while. So Chris, what are you up to today? The question of the day is, how do you guys deal with changes? I went and cleaned out my locker at work because I've been off for 6 months and it looks like it's converting to a layoff. So trying to get used to this whole staying at home and not having a schedule. I'm not a schedule person. I think that's what threw me off too, because I'm more of a like a routine person rather than like doing things at a certain time. Like, hi, Nursing or Travel Bug. How are you guys doing today? I'm drinking hot chocolate, if you were wondering. And my marshmallow's all melted. And it's cooled off, so now it doesn't taste like chocolate milk or like hot chocolate. It keeps popping up notifications even though I've got it on Do Not Disturb, which is sort of freaky. Roy, were you guys hiking today? All right, so I'm just going to try and see if I've got people's names. Tumbleweed, not that I can talk. Tumbleweed RV Life is Christian, and I've already forgotten your wife's name. Oh, no, that was interesting. Okay, another to-do is to figure out how to get that to not shut off at a half an hour. And San, what are you guys working on as far as videos and stuff? Are you thinking about fall stuff yet? you know, in this super hot heat. Or like, I guess maybe the better question is, how far out do you guys plan your videos? Because I know at least a couple of you have like multiple videos that you're working on editing. More of a Marco Polo game. All right, so are you playing Marco Polo with the naked guy that was in the woods, or with Becky or Scott? March footage. Oh, wow. I'm kind of thinking my summer garden was a complete fail, and I've put a little bit in for fall garden, but I'm kind of thinking about a couple videos with that, and then well, I was going to say, so like I wound up splitting what was supposed to be one video. It's going to be 3. I had to ask Roy. You know I had to. So I've got like those 2 that I need to research and film, and then I've got a couple I want to do in the garden, and then I'm kind of going, what else am I going to shoot? And say, that makes sense, Chris. I think you may have been the one I was listening to last night. Okay, Christian, I saw the whole season 2, season 3 thing on your live the other day. What do you determine as a season? Is that like each time you leave the house camping, or you're doing so many episodes? And Chris, the interesting thing I'm finding, because I hadn't had any music channels lately for some reason. I don't know. I think YouTube decided I didn't like it. But the first videos I had uploaded on YouTube were actually from Periscope, where I basically did nothing but sit and listen to people play guitar and sing. Okay, I am only planning on being on until 5, so hurry back, I guess. I don't know, you must be very close to wherever you have to pick the kiddos up. Okay, that makes sense. Hi, Charlie. He's over here making noises at me. Same here too. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that twist on that story, Roy. Did not realize that Bigfoot would be naked. But at least you're not playing Marco Polo with naked Bigfoot. That could be bad. Okay, 10 minutes. Hopefully 10 minutes is the same in Common Core as it is in real life, because I was going to say, and I know that it always says to like look at the camera, but can you guys even see my eyes with these glasses anyway? I just see glare. Unless I'm actually looking at the comments on. Okay, so Chris, Roy did a live. Was it yesterday morning or the day before? And anyway, he was telling a story about, and it's in the second hour of the live if you want to go check it out. He was out on a hike with a friend of theirs, and Scott something in appreciation. Anyway, they were out hiking and they were okay. They ran across some naked guy in the woods. Yeah, I was so not expecting that twist, Roy. And I'm sure Becky was glad she had stayed back and just seen antelopes or whatever they were. Or maybe that was a different hike. I don't know. So one thing that's still throwing me, Roy, is that you're not seeing animals on these hikes. Because you look like you're in a pretty good piece of woods, forest. I don't know what you want to call it. So I guess in my world, I would think you would be seeing deer and squirrels, birds, anything. I mean, yeah. Do you still need eye bleach? You know, in case you want to forget what you saw. Of course, I don't know. You took a picture. And it's gotten lots of laughs from lots of people, I'm sure. You saw elk on the live? I bet that had the dogs going off. Or wait a second, you said you actually did the hike live today. I did find out one thing while I was at work. So for those of you guys that don't know, I work at a casino. And my locker's at like the far end of the building, and security had to walk me back there. Oh my, I could not hold a conversation and walk to the far end of the building. I'm that out of shape in 6 months. Yes, I'm glad that the pic was blurry as well, Roy. He was just really small back in, like, you just see woods and then there's like this little peach spot. That would make sense. You would think that the elk would not come that close to camp. Although Becky said she saw the antelope or whatever they were. So, I don't know. My camp, but where I camp is sort of limited by a fence. So, not that wildlife doesn't ever go over the fence, but the deer typically stay out. And I don't think we have elk around here. Although, when my mom was working dispatch for one of the hauling companies, she did have this guy from, I think he was from Florida, and she got this panicked phone call from him. She got lots of panicked phone calls from him, now that I think about it. The first one, I think, was about snow. It was raining and it wasn't hitting his windshield, and he didn't know what to do with it. He also called her one day about a moose that was on the middle of 30 outside of Warsaw. Apparently the deer are smaller in Florida. So it was huge. But that was years and years and years ago, too. Years. I say that had to have been a lot of years, because that was probably 6 or 7 years before she passed, and she's been gone for almost 11. And Roy, do you know who's coming on after me? I didn't, last week, or the first one, I actually just had that pulled up on my phone so I'd know, and I'm trying to look here and do this over here, and it's not working. Because, like, I know Dutch Off-Grid Homesteading is live right now, but I think he's going off in 15 minutes as well. You weren't kidding. I'm not even sure you were gone for 10 minutes. So welcome back, Jim. I keep thinking I hear something behind me. There's a fan over there, and I think I'm hearing a cat. Again. So I'm going to ask again, do you guys have any tricks or tips on how to, like, get used to not clocking into a job anymore? I know some of you still do. You're just not going into the office. Or how to set up routines. I've kind of been jealous of you and Becky lately, Roy, because it's like, with the lives, you know, you need to be somewhere at a certain time, so you can kind of plan around that, and you've got lives at various ends of the day and during the week, so. Timing-wise, I did plan the time for my live so that the kids are out of school. That way they're not eating bandwidth, because I've seen a lot of people having issues with that. But at the same time, it's sort of in that in-between hour. I don't have to worry about people complaining about food, and the bandwidth isn't shot by everybody else in the trailer park. Okay. Somewhere I know there is a spreadsheet in here. So I will track that down real quick. Hey, Howie, how's it going? Are you having a good day today? Okay, so on the homesteading crew, 2 families coming on at 5. And Tuesday, Thursday. Looks like Ardez Car Life is coming on the full-timer side. Every day is a good day. I'm still breathing. That's what my some of my guests at work always said. Every day that I wake up breathing is a good day. See, harvest time for me kind of got screwed up because the bugs harvested all but pretty much everything but 2 peaches. No worries. So the question of the day for those of you that just came in is, how do you deal with changes and getting used to not going to work, or like, I guess sort of any major life changes. In my case, it's not going to work. Just because I went and cleaned out my locker at work today, because it sounds like the furlough's turning into... Thanks, Christian. Have a good day. It looks like my furlough's turning into a layoff. But we're still a hot spot, and I'm still high risk, so kind of trying to weigh out what I'm going to do with that. And hoping that I can get things worked out. So, because it's like, I at least need to have a routine, and lately I'm not even getting through like a basic morning routine all the time. I get interrupted and then I go, woo, off in left field somewhere. So, which is it's an interesting kind of thought process to me, I guess. Yes. And historically, I don't typically deal super well with change. Not that it's weird, because like, usually if I can get excited about the change, I somehow like process it. I don't know. If I can process through the change and understand what's going on and know what I'm going to, it's okay. In this situation, I've sort of been in limbo. So it's like I haven't wanted to change too far off. Like, for instance, I'm still mowing my yard on Wednesdays because Wednesdays was my day off at work. So, it's like, it's this weird, like, okay, so now I'm not going to be in limbo, but what's my day going to look like? I would kind of like to be able to just go meander around meander around Michigan and drive around in the trees every day, but that seems sort of like a waste of gas. So that is the link for Ardez's stream if you guys want to check that out. Or sorry, we're coming up to the top of the hour, so I don't want to step into anybody else's time. So I figured I would get you guys these links. But no, you actually have to. Okay. And then this is the one for 2-family. My kids are actually 14 and 16. And they're with me every other week. So like next week, I wouldn't have nearly as much time to think about it because between making sure they're up and going to class, they're doing virtual school, but it's real time, so they actually have to be out of bed. Although I know it was the first or second day back last week, and literally I'm like, for the third or fourth time in there, shaking my daughter, handing her her phone, and she's logging on, talking to her teacher, laying in bed like this. It's like, really? You need to kind of get your situation situated. But I mean, that's one of those, I guess, it's not, I think they're old enough, they're dealing with it better than some kids are. How old are yours, Jim? Because like, well, and my daughter, my 14-year-old, she really wanted to go back to school. She wanted the social aspects. She liked hanging out with friends at lunches and stuff, but the way the high school is right now, number one, she would have been a freshman. And the kids that are going to school are going full time, but it's like they have assigned seating in the cafeteria. They still don't have as much opportunity for the socializing with the people they actually know as they did before. And that's actually the first year she's at this school too. So, she was at the middle school in previous years, and I was gonna say we really don't trust the middle school, but so far the high schools, they're trying. I will give them that. They are trying. I sat in there for about 2 hours to pick up art supplies for the kids' classes it wasn't last week, it was Monday. I don't know, it sounded like the kitten was kind of dangerous earlier, but maybe not as dangerous as a truck. But the high school is trying. For the most part, it seems like kids are trying to wear masks correctly and sort of stay distanced and that kind of thing. But in the 2 hours I was in there, now, like the person at the front desk has like one of those plexiglass walls now, so she doesn't have to wear her mask. But like the woman from the office behind her kept coming out, not putting her mask on, and they were like 2 feet away from each other talking, which kind of defeats the purpose. And I did see a few like chin masks with some of the kids, but usually it was like weren't near people, and as soon as people would come up, they would put the mask on, which makes sense. So anyway, it is 4:59, it looks like. So thank you guys so much for coming. Mandy, Howie, Chris, Christian, Roy, Jim. Seems to me there was somebody else in here. I'm sorry if I forgot you. But anyway, I am going to hop off here and see what else I need to get done, and I will see you guys a little later. So thank you for listening to me whine about life changing, because I'm not ready for it. I am, but I'm not, you know, it's just one of those things. So anyway, I will see you guys Sunday on a video and next Thursday on here. Have a wonderful week, and I'm sure I'll see most of you guys in lives along the way. Bye.